Dawson Rider Review.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. This is, obviously, Imperialdramon, like I just said, from Digimon Adventure 2. And I believe this is the first Digimon figure to be released under the title Figuarts. You know, we had the D-Arts line, which was essentially a spin-off of Figuarts, but they, botched that and decided to make it Figuarts. Anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look at this. A very quick look at the box first. I'm going to have to sort of set him aside. Fortunately, the box is what is holding him up. But so it's a pretty cool box. You actually have this really cool little artwork of him, which looks like it's from the card game, which is really cool. And it says Imperialdramon Fighter Mode. You got the 02 logo over there from Japan. It says Figuarts there. You get a pretty cool little artsy shot of him here. A side view of the figure here. Other side, another awesome side view of the figure. Then on the back, it shows you just what the figure looks like, profile shot, some of the stuff you can do with it, and then the cool artwork yet again. So yeah, that is pretty much it for that. Before we get into the figure, I'll take a look quickly at the accessories. Other than the closed fist wizard on him, he gets two other sets of hands, which are all right here. You've got right here the sort of just, I guess, posed action hands, which are pretty common. And then you also have the holding things hands, which are going to basically be for his cannon mode. But yeah, you get those two extra hands. And then you have two different cannons. You have this one, which will go on his chest very easily. And then this one, which duels as an arm cannon and a chest cannon. And then this little piece here, which I'm just going to mention very briefly, is supposed to go down by his crotch for something. But yeah, it's like his cup. It's like a figure's cup. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We will show off the cannon bits here in just a minute. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. I'm going to kind of keep him leaned up against here. Yet again, this is another review I'm not going to be using my turntable on because his wingspan makes it so that it's hard for him to be on a turntable. But anyway, look-wise, this guy's pretty gorgeous looking. I have to say, I've always dug Imperialdramon's design, so obviously I like him. But the figure just sitting there looks really good. As you can see, the details are really well done, because I don't think this can zoom much more. I'll just take a quick look at the head sculpt there. He looked kind of sad and depressed almost, so I kind of partly wish his head sculpt, while it does look badass, maybe looked a little less disinterested. But otherwise, I think it captures it pretty well. And look-wise here, I think that the figure looks good, like I just said. That was a really weird way of structuring that sentence, I'm sorry. But I'm not sure if you can really tell on camera. I think it's picking it up pretty well, but he's got a really nice shine to him, which I think makes him look really awesome. So I just think he just looks very impressive. He's a pretty solid size. All the paint on him looks really good. He looks nice and glossy. Other than you being able to tell he's a figure because he's glossy, he looks like he came out of the cartoon, which I think is really good. It's a really great representation of the figure. Here on the back, obviously you have his wings, which are separate pieces when you get it. They're just little pegs you plug into here, but then you can move them around here like this. You can also move his wingspan here. This is on a ball joint, so you can mess with that. The tail is also a separate piece. It's on this little joint here, so you can move it around and place it in. I just decided to leave it in, but there's not really too much to speak of on the back. Articulation, it's fairly standard. You got a really nice joint here, nice sort of ball hinge joint going on. You can swivel here. You've got the double elbow joint. It is a bit hindered by his large sort of gauntlet. You can move his little fist around. You can swivel it around. It's being a bit tight about it right now. And then here there's actually several different levels of articulation. You got the articulation right here at the waist, the mid-chest, and then the upper, which is really well done. You can see it's really skinny though. And then you've got right here this nice ball joint here, and you can do some swiveling, double knee joint, and then you got this little ball joint here on his foot. But yeah, pretty much the standard if you've gotten things like Omnimon or Gallantmon. And he's very well articulated. I've had some small issues in the past with D-Arts being a little bit loose, but he's actually really well done. I haven't had any loose joint problems with him. In fact, these are almost a bit too tight. Very well done there on the joint area, I guess. Joint department, there we go. So yeah, he's very well done. I think he looks good. The articulation is really nice. The wings especially look absolutely impressive on here. Now, unfortunately, he does have problems standing with the wingspan. I mean, if you work with him for a while with the wing placement and the leg placement, he can stand, but just be careful of that, especially if you're going to be displaying him on a higher area or near any ledges or hard surfaces, because I already had mine like on the desk and then it fell off, and I was totally worried about his horns could probably easily break. I've had rider figure arts that happen to. So just be careful, because he can be a bit top heavy. He does also come with this Tamashi stand, or I don't know if it's Tamashi stand, I guess it is, but it's a large circular one, and you got that on there. So that is one way you could remedy that, but personally I haven't had the best experience with these, so I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, that is one of the things just to look out for. Now for these little switch out, it's very simple. This one kind of, like I said, has a dual purpose. There's two little, if you can see it here, like little flaps, and they're actually on both sides. I'm going to demonstrate on this side, but always after you cut your fingernails that you need it. Just take these little pieces out. Like I said, it's available on both sides. And then you just place this here after pulling this little piece down. And you can slide it in if you can not be a moron. There you go, and you've got a cannon on his arm. So that is the first purpose of it. And then there's also another purpose. Even though I'm probably going to leave this on, I'm putting this back in because I can easily see losing this piece. So yeah, there's that. And then the other way to do this is his little chest piece here. You pull this up right here and then just pull this down, and it reveals this little compartment. Now, I'm not going to completely demonstrate it because I'm not switching out the hands, but you're going to want to put the hands up like this, and he'll like hold the little handles that are going to be right here. Fold that piece back in, and then on the side here, there are two handles. And so, if you can get those back up, there we go. Then you put them here. I don't remember, is it this way or is it, I think it might be this way. There we go. And there's two little pegs in there which fit these two little spikes at the end. And you just kind of place them in there, and it'll kind of hold it in place. And then you have these handles here, and you got to hold them. And boom, you got a cannon. So that's cool that you have those multi-purpose. I think that's neat. Like I said, I'm not completely demonstrating it, but I apologize. But still, it's really neat to have this sort of multi-purpose weapon that you got different, options for. Now this is the other cannon piece, which is actually a lot easier to deal with, because all you really do is just pop it on here. If I can get it to go right. There we go. See, that's a lot easier. And just pop it on there, and he's like, pew, pew, pew. Those are cannon noises. Anyway, so yeah, that's pretty neat. So you can do that. You have a lot of options there. But yeah, overall, I really like this figure quite a lot. I mean, it's a really impressive looking figure. It looks badass. The quality of it looks great. I don't have any problems with the articulation. You have quite a bit of options. Well, not quite a bit, but a decent amount of options for various like cannons and poses and wingspan poses. So overall, a very impressive figure, and probably the best representation of Imperialdramon that I've seen. He is an exclusive, so you're going to have to keep an eye out on the aftermarket. So these can go for high. I got my Gallimon for a good deal early on, but now I think they go for ridiculous. So just, if you can find this for a good price, I recommend it. But don't pay too much for it, because while it's a good figure that I like a lot, I still feel even like the retail that roughly retail with the middleman that I paid for it was a bit much. So just, if find a good price, I can recommend it, but just be wary because it can go for quite a bit more than I think it's worth. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.